Hi, I just wanted to take the time to talk to you a little bit about motivation versus discipline. And it's really something that comes up a lot. A lot of people tell me I'm not motivated, I can't stick to it, whether it's a fitness program or eating healthy or anything that can be hard. A lot of you will say, I'm not motivated anymore. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that and first give you some tips. And the number one thing is to connect back to your why. Why did you start your health journey? Whether you've fallen off or you're doing great, connect back to your why. So a lot of people will have like a surface why to start, which could be losing 20 pounds or fitting into a swimsuit or getting tone, whatever that looks like. But I always challenge you to dig deeper on that, because what do you want to feel like? What is it going to feel like to lose that 20 pounds? Will you be able to play with your kids without getting out of breath? Will you be able to run a 5K in honor of someone you love? I don't know what it is for you, but you have to dig deeper on that why, because your comfort zone is going to be more comfortable than that goal that you have for yourself. So knowing truly and envisioning that why is what is going to keep you pushing to get there. So connect back to your why and think about why you even began taking care of your health, whether it's focusing on your nutrition, your fitness, or a combination of both. And then think about how when you're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm gonna go for this, I'm really gonna get it this time. Think about how motivated you were. And then I'm sure many of you, I myself, have lost motivation. So this is what I want to talk to you about, is losing that motivation is going to happen all the time. Whether you're loving the workout program you're doing, whether the way you're eating is great, you've really developed a great routine, you will always lose motivation. And I don't say that to be negative, it's just the truth, because that's life. I mean, think about the things that come into our life, the stress, the busy, the fun, all that stuff. You will lose motivation, and that's okay, because you can develop the discipline to always stay committed to your health, your happiness, and that is what will keep you going in the long run. So some of the ways, if you've fallen off track, change things up. What do you enjoy doing? What kind of workouts do you enjoy doing? What is fun for you? If you need new recipe ideas, let me know. If there's 4 billion recipes on the internet as well. I send out a weekly recipe letter that you could get a free recipe every week. Just think of something fun, something different that you could get excited about that maybe will add a little more motivation. But the key in all of this is to always know that you're disciplined to take care of yourself, because you know that you are worth it. You guys, our health is everything. My dad had emergency open heart surgery a year and a half ago, and 4 months after that, my stepdad died. And when you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. It's just so important. And the most important thing you have to know is that you're worth it. You are worth taking the time for yourself. You're not too busy. You're not selfish for taking the time for yourself. All those guilty feelings or feeling like everything else, everyone else is more important, is not where we need to be. I'm giving you the permission to take care of yourself and stay committed to that, because it's so it's just so important. It's everything we have. So as you go through this journey, you're going to be working on little habits like we've worked on in our groups. So drinking more water, getting more sleep at night, eating more veggies, reading the ingredients on everything that you buy that's packaged, healthy swaps, when to work out, whether it's 20 minutes a day, an hour a day, whichever program or whatever you're doing. I'm trying to think of the basic things. Well, you get my point. So those small things that we've been working on in the group add up over time and they become a habit. So maybe you need to focus more on your water intake or getting to bed earlier or working out every day. No matter what it is, it's a habit that you can pile onto. So say your water's great, your sleep is great, but you need to have more veggies. All those things stack onto each other and equal your health. Like it all matters. Your stress, your sleep, your happiness, what you're feeding your body, how you're moving your body, your environment. All those things are a part of your health and very important. And I know we mainly focus on majority nutrition and fitness, but all those other things really tie into place. So when you can connect back to your why, like I said in the beginning, use that motivation as a momentum to work on all of those habits and promise yourself and know and believe that you're worth it. You're committed to your health, whether you fall off, life happens, anything, you always get back on. That is the discipline you have to keep going forever. This is a journey. This is not some diet thing or some fad. It is truly about figuring out what works for you, finding the workouts that you love. That's one reason I love BOD so much, because there's 4,000 different workouts for every time frame, every style of workout, and finding something that you love, something that pushes you, and then finding the food that works for you. What works for me may not work for you. We're all different. And so I know you can get discouraged because you maybe haven't lost as much weight as you'd like, or maybe you haven't reached your goal yet or seen as much progress as you'd like along the way. But you have to know that part of this discipline is staying committed to learning and trying new things. So I have on here changing things up along the way. What works a year ago may not work now. So you have to know that you have to keep learning. You have to figure out what foods work for you. Maybe there are certain foods that cause inflammation, or maybe you're overlifting and you need pure cardio. You have to constantly be switching things up, learning. That's what these groups are for, is to learn and share the knowledge between all of us. There's so many awesome podcasts about health and happiness. I'd be happy to share my favorite ones, and podcasts are free, so that's a bonus. And you have to learn in your day-to-day, so that's why food logging is super important, and I like to call it a food feel log. So what is the food that you're eating? How is it making you feel? Because that is really important. So anything from a rash, or maybe you're really tired or bloated, all those things could be from the food you're eating. So you have to stay committed to knowing that you will probably have to change things up along the way, but most importantly, learning for yourself so you can grow in this. I remember, I have to tell you this because it makes me laugh. I remember when I was starting to learn about sugar and I really wanted to be more aware of how much sugar I was eating in a day. And I was eating a lot of fruit, like a lot of fruit in a day, which is sugar. And then there was sugar in other things. I wasn't aware of my spices, sauces. I was probably eating sweets, a shake full of fruit, like no protein, no superfoods like it is now, just pure fruit, which is sugar, grains, sugar. So I wanted to be aware of how much sugar I was eating. So I said, I'm not going to eat any fruit, and I cut out a couple other things, and I panicked, like literally panicked, was crying one morning and told Garrett, all I want is a banana. Like, I just have to have a banana. I used to eat a banana every single day, and now a banana is like a treat. And it's crazy how your taste buds change because it's super sweet to me. I used to love Calichi's in town here in Cruces. It's frozen custard. Now it's too sweet for me. Like, I don't even enjoy it. So that was probably 4 years ago. 4 years. So the reason I'm telling you that is because you have to realize you're not going to make these changes overnight. That's why you have to have this discipline. And another important thing is to trust the process, because if you're committed to checking back in your why constantly, knowing why you're taking care of yourself, knowing why you're doing this, if you are committed to learning and changing things up along the way, and you develop that discipline, you can trust the process and know no matter what, the only way you can fail is by giving up. But that's not an option, because you're disciplined, you're committed to yourself, because you love yourself and you know that you are worth it. Your health and your happiness is worth it 1,000,000%. So I just want you to think about that. If you feel like you've fallen off, or even if you're doing great, or maybe you're lacking some motivation, think about why you started this and dig deep on that. So instead of the first thing that comes to mind, dig deeper on that. How will that make you feel? Like, how will that change your life is what I want you to envision, versus the first goal of, I want to fit into this swimsuit, or whatever initial goal you have. So check back into your why. Think about the habits that we've learned. Check back into the daily habits that you need to maybe focus on more. Know that you will have to change things up, and maybe this is the time. Maybe you need to switch things up a little bit. Know that fueling your mind, I forgot to touch on this, I'm just looking at my notes. Your mindset is everything. So if you are disciplined and committed to taking care of yourself, you just know, like, this is it. I will always take care of my health and happiness and make it a priority. No matter if I fall off, I'll always get back on. No matter if life happens, you're always going to keep going, no matter what. You will have a positive mindset about it, versus a negative mindset of, this isn't doing anything, this is too hard, this is too expensive, it takes too much time, I'm not seeing progress. All those things are negative, and will not help you get to where you want to be and feel and live. So know that fueling your mind is so key. One of the main ways I do that is through personal development books and podcasts. So I have this little book on my desk, You Are a Badass Every Day. I really love her books, and this one is super short, sweet, easy to read. So like, this is one little paragraph. Life is hard, so fueling your mind is so key. And then a part of that too is leaning on each other, leaning in on this support group, and knowing we're all here for each other, because you cannot go through this health and fitness journey by yourself. I mean, you can for sure try, but it's so hard, because those days when you're not motivated and you're maybe lacking that discipline, you really have to lean in on other people to help pump you up. So that also helps your mindset. And then the last point is just knowing that this is a no matter what. You're always committed to you and your health and your happiness. And literally, the only way you can fail at this is by giving up, which you're not going to do. So focus more on the discipline to take care of your health and happiness versus relying on the motivation to keep you going, because motivation is like this, and it's not something that we can always count on, but we can always count on our commitment to ourselves, to our health, and to our happiness. So hopefully that wasn't just a bunch of mumble rambling and you got some good points. I would love to see your why. If you check back into your why, comment below and let me know one habit that I mentioned that you want to focus on and something that you're doing great at. Have a good night.